Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is another Van Other Collective video. The logos of the other channels will be around here.
Yeah, so make sure you head over to their channels, check out their videos and give them a like, a comment and a subscribe also. So this month's subject was supposed to be show us your outside cooking gadgets. We always change the subjects, and actually I wouldn't have changed it only from the fact that I don't know when it was, last year sometime, the subject was show you cooking 3 meals. We decided on that one to show you our cooking gadgets. So we are going to show you our cooking gadgets, and we're going to do it probably very quickly, just overlaying some clips. However, because we now need to spin it back the other way, we're also going to show you us cooking 3 meals. We are here on this site for 3 nights, so perfect. So for outside cooking, we predominantly use our Kadak. We use it as a gas barbecue, and we have various other things to go with it.
So we really like using the pizza stone. We've had some nice meals on it with those, and also we've got the tapas dishes, which are handy for anything really. We've cooked baked beans in there, we've cooked eggs in there, mushrooms, tomatoes.
Yeah, I did see, I shout caravan trays out all the time, but I did see they were doing little omelettes inside them as well. We bought these at the NEC show and we decided we didn't really want 4. I don't think you'll fit 4 on our small little Kadak anyway, but we went halves with your mum and had 2 each, and it's perfect. That's all we need. With the Kadak, and I think I probably mentioned this before, the reason that we like the small one is we are able to screw a gas bottle into the bottom of it, and then we can go out somewhere for lunch or down to the beach or whatever, and we can take it with us. So that's the reason why we haven't necessarily got a huge great big barbecue, considering we like quite a lot of food on the barbecue. If we have a barbecue, we tend to cook like all our veg on there as well. We probably should have a bigger one, but that's the reason why we stick with the little one. So the other gadget that we have is our ridge monkey, which is 2 pans together. They can come apart to make 2 little frying pans, or you can use it together, hold them together and use it to flip stuff. Now we use that on the barbecue for sometimes cooking things like burgers and that sort of thing. We also use that inside on the stove.
We've also got our air fryer, which is amazing. It's so good. It's just quick, it's easy, it's obviously all in the space together. You can bung loads of stuff in there, so it really helps us out, doesn't it?
Yep, and I've said this hundreds of times as well, but people always moan about air fryers, and they always talk about the price of sites because people bring their air fryers with them and use all the electric. It is one of the most efficient ways of cooking, particularly in time and the efficiency of the thing itself. So okay, it's not using your own gas, and we do use our own gas quite a lot, but when you pay for a site that has electric, using your air fryer isn't going to use lots of that.
We've also got our sandwich maker, which we have done a previous video on, and we'll link it at the end for you to have a little look at.
Yeah, and then we've got our teppanyaki hot plate. Now, I love it. I tend to do most of the cooking when it's outside, don't I? Sara's the inside cooker. I love the teppanyaki grill. I think it's really, really good. It's so easy to clean. It's a big, long space, and it's just a nice space to cook on. The only thing, so we were watching the Coffee Vanners video in the week, and they basically asked in their video, are you team Kadak or are you team teppanyaki? We're both, but the Kadak is, I think, more consistent. The teppanyaki, if it's windy or if it's cold, and we first used it in the winter, you really struggle to get the heat into things. So we were cooking big beef burgers like that, and obviously I have looked at getting like a silicone lid that you can put over to sort of force that heat back down and keep the heat in, but it was cooking on the underside, then you flip it and it's cooking on the other side, and you think, right, that's done, and then you've got a big section in the middle where it's just not touched it at all, and sometimes that wind can just take the heat basically from just off of the plate. So I'm gonna say if we have to pick a team, we'd be team Kadak. And just for the other things as well that we mentioned, like the pizza stone and being able to put a ridge monkey on it. And of course we don't really go off grid, but if we were going off grid we could boil our kettle on it and stuff like that. So yeah, we're team Kadak. So in terms of other gadgets, and me and Sarah have not really talked about this video. I didn't even know she was going to be in it, and she sat down with me. The only things I can think of are the tongs, the Kadak tongs. We bought some sort of cheap ones off of Amazon, and they sort of they never picked anything up properly, did they? And stuff would always slide out of them. The Kadak ones, and we're not sponsored by Kadak or anything like that, but they are so much better. They're really good.
Yeah, sturdy, aren't they?
Yeah, and we've got a little silicone spatula that's sort of almost quite sharp, so when you are trying to sort of clean the thing, it's really easy just to get those little bits off. So we are starting to cook more for ourselves. So we traditionally like to eat out, we like to maybe have takeaways, and yeah, we're just starting to cook a little bit more, and I'm really sort of kind of enjoying it. So if you have any other things that you think of that, you know, would revolutionise the way we cook, particularly outside, then please let us know, because we're open to other things. But yeah, I know it's summer and it's a lot easier to cook outside in the summer, but the last few times we've been away, I've really enjoyed being outside. The only thing I will say, and this is probably detrimental to our Kadak, I told a bloke at Chapel Lane that he annoyed me because I set up the barbecue and I'm just starting to cook, and then he comes out and lights his charcoal barbecue, and I'm like, oh, I don't want a gas barbecue anymore. It's too much faff for us. We have one at home. It's too much faff for us because you didn't got to get rid of the ashes and stuff like that. But the taste on a charcoal barbecue, and it's just nicer. I like lighting it. I like sitting and waiting for it to be able to cook on. It is so much nicer. So yeah, it made me feel like my barbecue was a little bit inadequate. He did look at me a bit odd when I said you really annoyed me earlier, and then when he realised what I was about to say, he then started laughing. He said, oh, you could have brought your steaks over and cooked them on mine. I was like, yeah, that would have been a good idea, yeah.
Save our gas.
Yeah. So we're now going to show you 3 meals. Now, there's nothing revolutionary, and this is not a cooking channel. It's not a recipe channel, so I'm not showing you. It's it was the video that we were supposed to do a while ago, and because we flipped them, I am going to do that now. So we're going to show you 3 different meals, all on the Kadak, but not necessarily all barbecue. So you'll have to wait and see. So it's finally cooled down, and we are going to start our barbecue. Now, I just wanted to show you our Kadak, as they are all different. This is the Safari Chef 30. So I've got everything that I need in here, minus the gas bottle. Now, the reason that we went for such a small one is because we like to be able to take it out, you know, if we go to the beach or somewhere away from the caravan, and then we can use a gas bottle which is in the caravan. So first of all, we've got our pizza stone, and it's not very clean, but you're not actually supposed to clean them. You're supposed to just take the hard bits off there, but you're not actually supposed to clean them. I will overlay some clips of us using that. This is the hose that connects to the caravan. This is the base. If anyone ever struggles to get these legs back in properly, they are actually numbered. So you put number 1 down first, number 2, number 3. They don't go down properly if you don't do them in the right order. This we have, you can either just put it straight on the top, it fits into those little bits there if you just want to use it to boil a kettle, or like there. If you want to use it with that, it also sits in there. You don't actually need to use that if you're going to use one of the hot plates. Let's put that under there. Now this doubles up as a lid for covering, that's what lids do. Or, and you will need to use this for that, you can actually use it as a dish. And then we bought this, which is a lid. Just get rid of that, which is a lid. So you can cover it like that. You can use it as a dish or a lid, up to you. Then we have a choice of 2 plates to cook on. Now, one is solid and one isn't. That one is slightly bigger, and the only reason I can think of that one is bigger is because obviously heat and air can come through these holes, and if you were to have one the same size, then it would probably block that off. But we are trying to eat slightly leaner foods, and when we do, this is perfect because you don't need to worry about losing fat. If you're just cooking a chicken breast or something like that and some vegetables, you don't need to worry about that. And basically all that needs cooking when you're finished is this. You just take that over to the washing up area or in the caravan and it's done. The problem with this is obviously everything drips into there, and then you've got to take the whole thing over. I have on one of my videos before told you all of the Kadak tip, which is to fill the reservoir here with water, and it just makes the fat that drops in there not stick and burn on the pan, and it is a lot easier to clean. How many bits do you want?
I did 4.
Any 4?
Anything.
Okay, thank you. I am absolutely obsessed with lambda lettuce at the moment. And there we go, look at them handsome little fellas. Okay, so before we get our steaks on, and you will probably start to realise that steaks are one of our favourite things, we are going to get some peppers. Let's just turn that down a little bit. We're going to get some peppers on. A couple of baby corn. I actually really don't like these, so they're for Sara. A few bits of asparagus. They are probably nicer when the flame's on them. A couple of little bits of broccoli. I love barbecued veg. And if I can find space for them, a couple of onions. Just let that cook, soften and cook for a minute or 2. So steaks we've got this weekend are Tesco's Finest sirloin. That's mine. Couldn't get the ribeye, but I do like sirloin. And this one's got blood dripping on it, so I'm not going to tip it. But this is Sara's fillet steak. So they've been out the fridge for a little while. And they're at room temperature now, and I'll bring you back in a minute when we put them on. Right, let's have a little look, see how this is coming on. Probably not not really that much to do. Maybe turn the peppers over. They are starting to look a little bit blackened. Easier said than done. And then on this small skillet, we are going to have to try and find where I'm going to put the steaks. I said to Sarah, maybe we take the veg off, and then we both like our steaks rare. Yeah, maybe we take the veg off, and then just throw the steaks on, and then maybe put these back on just to warm up, because we usually let our steaks rest in a bit of foil for 5 minutes or so. Get the juice back into them. So about 5 minutes ago, I moved all the veg over to one side. I've cranked the heat up. Best way to cook a steak is on the hottest plate you can get. So we're ready for that. And just pan you down. And let's get these bits of meat on. Let's move that out the way. Here we go. We need a big sizzle. Sara's fillet and my sirloin. And that's probably not exactly where I wanted to put that, but let's get this back on and get that heat in. So not going to cook that for very long, going to turn it over. We like it crispy on the outside and we like it raw in the middle. Just look at that evening sky that I'm having to deal with while I'm cooking. Only problem is, my drink's running out. I said the only problem is my drink's running out. I said the only problem is my drink's running out. Yeah, I'll have another one, yeah, thanks. What made you ask? Okay, let's spin these steaks over. Let's do this one first. You don't get the nice lines on them when you use the solid plate. Oh, look at that. The heat in. So I do just very quickly want to, before I cremate this stuff, might be too late, just spin it onto the top. Now I want to cook the fat on my steak, so I'm going to turn it that way, and I will just do the same with Sara's. Just cook it on its side for a minute, spin them again just to get the other side. Like I said earlier, I love a crispy crust on a steak, even though I'm fine with it being rare. If I was in a restaurant, I'd order it blue. Oh, to be fair, Sara's probably doesn't need it on the side anymore. Let's leave it on there and get that back up there. Right, time to get these steaks off. Now I'm going to cut the heat completely because I don't want the veg to cook much more. That is the outer. Now a little bit of oil and a little bit of salt on there will make it go really crispy, but as I've said, we are trying to be a little bit healthier, so just brown the ends. Right, they're going into foil. They are just going to sit and rest, get the juices back into it. They'll carry on cooking a little bit as well, actually. Okay, keep the lid on there and just keep that stuff warm. And they, if you can see them, are going inside. Now, just in case anyone's worried about me, this is the chilled out life of a barbecue. Right, let's get the veg off. Understand that might look cremated to some people, but that is how we like our barbecued food. Onion on the barbecue is so underrated. I bought these ones from the market and they're a bit oddly shaped and they are quite difficult to cook on here. Okay, that bit of asparagus has decided to commit itself to the pan. And there you go. Now while Sara is just plating up, I'm just going to get some water on there. I will clean this properly, but this is just the best way to get the worst of it off. A little bit of kitchen roll, I'm just going to push it around and then we can wash it in the sink. I love these. I know a lot of them have that bit on them, but when I want to do it, you just go, whee. Turn the heat off. Like I say, this is not cleaning it, but it just gets the worst bits off and it just makes life easier when you actually come to wash it. And that is exactly how I like my steak. So we were supposed to be showing you meal 5, but what was we going to have for meal 5?
We were going to have a curry on the Kadak.
Yeah, we had a curry at the
Indian.
Yeah, sorry about that. So hopefully I've overlaid enough clips of us cooking pretty much most of the same thing. But yeah, we were going to cook for you tonight, so poor form. I'm going to hand you over now to our outro.
Thanks so much for watching. Please don't forget to head over to the other channels whose logos are here.
Oh, you waiting for me to say something?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it really. We have to talk a little bit longer at this point because we're just waiting for the logos to just go past. But yeah, let's fill the time with something. Go on.
I was just going to say, if you've got any recipes that we could maybe do on the Kadak, then let us know in the comments. We're always up for something new these days.
Thank you very much for watching.
And we will see you
in
the next one.